Hello and welcome. I am so joyful to have you here today. I'm just going to add my name underneath here so I can remember who I am. I already know who I am. There we go. Cool. So, welcome to 10 times in your life. 10 times in your life. And I'm excited to be sharing what's happening already due to the work of asking everything to expand in my life. I'm really starting to see some major changes. So I'm going to ask you to let's do a quick energy pull for your year. Okay, so we're going to be very expansive in this energy pull. And as I know, many of you are joining me on recording, so I'm going to be just having you in my heart, Mary and Yurira and Janie and Deanne and uh, Mary's books. I'm going to have all of that kind of in my heart place, Angela, um, and have all of you kind of in that space of what could be, even better. What could be even better? Awesome. Thank you so much. So, in the very beginning, I'd like to do an energy pull. And this is something, it's a tool from Access Consciousness, and I just love this tool. I can't even imagine how different my life would have been without just sort of happening upon it when I was on a group call. And so, we're going to do an energy pull. Okay, yay! So, um, first things first is expand your energy as big as the house you're in. And now picture it as big as the city you're in. Now get as big as the state you're in. And don't be thinking about it. Just kind of like do it. Picture yourself as big as the United States or Canada or New Zealand or Singapore, where you are, India. Picture yourself as big as the state you're in and the country you're in. And now picture yourself as big as the entire globe. Very nice. And now picture yourself as big as the universe and just invite trickling in of energy from planets that aren't here. Very nice. Very good. That's awesome. Thank you. And Linda, I can feel your sweet energy too. I know you're joining me in spirit. So go ahead and just first just let's just do the whole year of 2016 as an entity. And let's put that out kind of in front of us. Okay. Let's ask anything that isn't part of our own sort of best expansion, best experiences, anything that isn't willing to contribute to that. Can we ask it to leave? Can we just say any entities, any negative people, let's just ask next year to shift up its vibration. And let's ask anything that isn't a contribution to the expansion of next year to just fall off. Thank you. Very nice. All right. And now let's take one area in particular where you'd like to pull energy. This could be, for instance, for Pratima, it could be her book, or Janie's on the call with me, and we could call Janie's book. For me, I'm going to call all of Happy Publishing. Linda, you could do the spirit book that you're writing in. Mary, you could do your beautiful books that you're writing. And I love how many authors are part of this call series. It's awesome. So go ahead and put something I like to do business, but I imagine you could do relationship as well. So put it about a foot in front of you. Get it outside of your body. Very nice. Outside of your body. Oh, that baby. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Oh. So just put it outside of your body. We tend to hold everything inside. So put it outside of your body. Very nice. And just look at it now. And it could be like your whole business. And just switch whatever energy you have on it, switch it to something a little bit more warm and inviting and nutritive. switch it to something contributive. Very good. Nice. Yeah. Cool. One of the things we do is we'll look at something like, I had a really huge awareness about when this book came out. And I'm so sad I did this. I heaped amounts of disappointment on the book. And look how beautiful it is. It's so special. I was so critical of it. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking back to that time. And it just has like the most beautiful quotations, like soar higher into happiness. And your value stems from your heart, mind, spirit, and self, not from what people think about you, how much your net worth is at any given time. Your value is extreme, as increasing every day. It's your own. You are so much more than you could possibly imagine. So that was these are things I wrote in 2010. And when it first came out, it was so hard for me to just give it just like, So now look at your creation, look at your business, look at your life in 2016 and really give it a nice shout out. Like, whoa, you rock. Just give it a nice. Just kind of wanted to clear anything between you and your creations that wasn't like awesome sauce. Okay, cool. All right. So get big again, because I got ADD. So get big again, all your energy, get big, very nice. And now put your business about a foot in front of you. Good. And just now I'd like you to invite a stadium full of people who are so excited to hang out with you and learn from you and buy your stuff. And fill the stadium with people. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is really fun today. It's really feeling potent today, which is so funny because you're not physically here with me on the call and it's just like so big. So I'm very curious about that. Wow. Whew. So now picture your stadium and then pull energy through the bodies in the stadium. Pull energy through all the bodies in the stadium. And then picture the people in the stadium bringing money to your business or your entity. Just picture them all bringing money. And I say money as energy, as picture them bringing their offerings to your entity, your business, your book, buying the book, filling their bodies in your classes. Just see all that energy, pull that energy through them to your offering, to your company. And now picture the money coming to you. So people in bodies with money, picture them in the stadium. Pull energy through them, pull energy from everywhere through them to you, to your business. Picture the money coming to you. And then picture you nourishing back. So now you're nourishing back all the people that are coming to you for whatever it is that you have, that you wanted to share with them. So just picture it pulling through. Picture that place right there. That's your business. And then picture yourself being nourished by it. And then ask it to get even bigger. So ask for more people in the stadium, more people on the calls, more people in the classes, more people being nourished by your company, more books being born. And just invite all of that in. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. And now I'm going to ask you to do something totally counterintuitive and just take everything and smash it down the grounding cord. Just release it all. Release everything. Release everything you were pulling and everything you were thinking about, all the places you thought would be right and wrong and this and that, and just release it all and just release it all and release it all and release it all and just release it all. Thank you. And just breathe for a minute as the observer observing the observed. So picture yourself kind of observing and then feel the energy of being the observer observing the observed. Very nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually, my intention was to start jumping into January. So inviting things to happen in January. So let me just see here. Okay, cool. There's that. Just double checking. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. Alrighty. Alrighty. So now what I normally do at this time is I look at each of the months of the year and I ask if there's anything in that month of the year that I could add to it, which would contribute to your 10 timesing or 100 timesing your life. So by this time, you've got a kind of a vision for 2016. It is the end of 2016. This is clearer. This is calmer. This is brighter. I'm living in a new house. My business is serving more people. I'm experiencing more joy and profound awe of life every day. My relationship with my kids. Just keep kind of going through that place you'd seek to be in 2016 when it's December, and you look back and you go, oh my gosh, I hit it. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about what showed up. And then the next thing that you want to do with all those things that you invited into 2016 that I haven't materialized yet is you want to be thankful for them before they come. So you just want to be thankful for them before they come. So I'm in my new house. It's very light. I'm on the second story. It's very calm. And just be thankful for that experience. Just be thankful for that. Oh, be thankful for that experience. Thankful for that experience. Very nice. Thankful. So that now, let's say Happy Publishing, this year we'll have about 12 books. So let's just say next year there's 24 books that get released through Happy Publishing. Let's just imagine that's going to be the case. That's a doubling. But I'm asking for 10 times the results. So what's shown up for me is writer retreats. So far they're going to be in March and September. And these are going to be 3-day getaways where you come, turn everything else off, have your laptop, and I'll facilitate, and you can write your little heart out. We're going to be in a beautiful location in a vacation rental by owner with a great view, a very quiet and beautiful and serene and contributive place for 3 days. And we're going to do this in March and in September. So I'm building these retreats, and that showed up. So when I say 10 times, now, of course, one retreat won't generate 10 times the income of this year, right? But when I thought about doing the retreat, every part of my body went, yes, yes, yes. And so in that space of that creation of that, what we're looking at is it is part of my intention. It is a yes. So that as you're thinking up these things that you want to have happen, say in 2 weeks, mid-December, say you want to start teaching a class in January, you want to maybe help someone with their business in January, February. Now, maybe just doing that one thing won't be 10 times what you did this year, but it's those patterns of yeses and patterns of yeses that you start just increasing until suddenly you look around and the landscape of your entire life and the fabric of your entire world has shifted. And it's so magic. So magic. It's hard for me to share with you how much I've grown and changed in 2015 by asking myself to be 10 times and to 10 times everything. All righty. So now for a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause your and invite one or two things. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, processing. I'd like you to invite one or two things into January that you haven't invited yet. Okay. Now this could be a walk on the beach. This could be a commitment to have dinner with someone that you really like. This could be a commitment to get your toes done. I mean, we're talking even at that level, doing something like that is a affirmation of who it is that you're shifting into And as you keep affirming that and affirming that and affirming that, and this morning I woke up, I was reflecting on my experiences. I walked into Barnes & Noble yesterday, the bookstore, with my daughter. And I was walking through it like I was looking at all the books. I was thinking, what if I was like the kind of publisher that was so amazing that basically the red carpet came out when I got to Barnes & Noble, or, maybe the kind of author. And I walked up and everything just unveiled. And I pictured myself walking in as a celebrity. And I pictured like a place on Barnes & Noble shelves that was just for happy publishing books. Oh my gosh. It was like the most beautiful feeling. Oh my gosh, right? So I'll have more of that. So where is it that you haven't let yourself experience your own celebrity? And what could you do to begin with that would celebrity up your life? Like what experience could you have? Some of you are going to be going to New York and appearing at a TV show taping, and you're going to be doing a book signing. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about, like the celebritying up of your life. What kinds of experiences could you put in January and February? One of my friends went to watch Saturday Night Live's like epic last live show or something. And then he sent pictures of himself on one of the authors, actually, Ken. He was standing on the stage at Saturday Night Live with the cameras. It was the coolest photograph. And you just felt in that space with him of being that celebrity with him, And one of our other authors, Natalie, we have a picture of her with Kim Kardashian standing on stage because she and her shoes, loves her shoes. So what could you say yes to in the beginning of 2016 that would begin to feel that sense? And I don't mean to have to want to be a celebrity at all, but what could feel like that for you? What could be like that for you? And just invite the beginning of that. That's awesome. So now I'd like you to look at March through June, and just look at March through June in your mind's eye and invite something to happen good in March through June. So I'm thinking about having my Happiness Telesummit again. So that would be in March. I'm thinking of, I'm going to be doing a retreat for authors in March. I'm not sure what else is going to happen in March. April, May, June. June, I have a son graduating from 8th grade. What kinds of fun things could we do to celebrate that? And then what kinds of things could happen in July with you, with your families, with your friends, with your money? Just percolate July a little bit now. Just brighten up July. Invite maybe a trip. I'm seeing Italy. One of you, I wonder if one of you is going to Italy. Awesome. And then August. What could happen in August? I have one child who'd like to do a foreign exchange year. So could that happen in August? I don't know. Let's just picture all of that going on. Now September. I'd like you to look at September. I have a birthday in September. What else is happening in September that could be awesome for you? Is it spring? Are you in New Zealand, or is it summer? Is it fall? So what could you invite in September, October, November, and December? And just now, I'd like you to let's just do a whole bank account thing. I'm going to spend a little time on this since none of you are live with me. So I need to do this for me. So let's just do this together. Okay, so we're just going to spend a little time looking at our money for 2016. And we're going to activate those places that might be sleeping and ask for more contributions from places that we may not expect it. And we're going to lower our resistance and our barriers to good things showing up. Awesome. So pull blue energy through the bottoms of your feet. Blue earth energy through the bottoms of your feet. And pull gold energy up from celestial down through the top of your head. Awesome. I don't know why I'm such a good mood. Excuse me. So happy today. So picture golden sunlight from the top of your head and just stream it down through your entire body. Just stream it down through your entire body. Stream gold celestial energy through your entire body, and then pull blue earth energy up from the bottoms of your feet. That's very nice. Oh. Alrighty. And I'm just now picturing each of you in my mind's eye. So I'm just connecting with your sort of celestial being. Very nice. And I'd like you all to pull out a imaginary bank statement. Now, I don't mean imaginary in the sense of it being fully imaginary. I mean, it's an actual bank statement. But you don't need to go get a piece of paper that is one. Just imagine yourself holding your bank statement in your hands. Okay. I'd like you to look down at the number and have that be the number that came in through all of 2016. Okay. So if you just kind of stay on track with what you're doing and you don't fall completely off of a cliff, and you have your body and you have your life's work and you have your same or similar partner type situation and same kid type situation, like we're not going to imagine changes in every single area of your life. So I'd like you just to ask now for the number to show up that is a 12-month calculation of December 31st, 2016. If you kind of stay on track where you are now, and what you're kind of in motion for, and just close your eyes for a minute and ask the number to show up that would reflect what it will be if you keep everything, sort of the systems in life you have going now with some positive changes. What number would that be? Okay, so I got a number, and actually it wasn't 10 times, it was 2.5 times 2015. Okay, so that's the number that showed up for me. In 2014, I did this, I 10 times it, and I'm actually now at 12 times. I didn't make very much in 2014, so I did 12 times 2014 year to date. Okay, and there's another month left, so could be 20 times, who knows. So what I just got shown, just when I asked for the number without any judgment, was a number for 2016 that was a very nice, beautiful, soft number. It was a very pretty number, felt really nutritious and delicious. So I'm not going to at this point make the number wrong, but what I am going to do is a thermometer exercise with you guys, and this is a really fun exercise. It's very potent. So I want you to drop down a thermometer. Now that you've looked at that number, okay, you have that number in your head. Don't make it wrong. Don't judge the number that pops up. Just say, oh, thank you for that information. That's feedback. That number, if you let it come in just kind of in itself, in its form, is feedback that's not cognitive. It's feedback, okay? So you want to be nice to it. You don't want to say, oh, you can. You know, if I do everything, I make $8,000 next year, right? No judgments. You just, oh, okay, thank you. That's the number I'm being shown that I'm on track for if everything kind of does what it's doing right now. All right, now take a thermometer and I want you to drop it down in front of you. Okay, picture the thermometer dropping down in front of you. And on a 1 to 100, and at 100, it kind of pops over and brims over. Okay, so 33 is kind of like freezing. Okay, it's cold. 50 is kind of decent. 50 degrees is like, it's like sunny but chilly. Okay. So now take that number that showed up when you asked and just have it extrapolate itself. I'm sorry, this is kind of woo-woo, guys. Just have the thermometer go to where it would to where that number is for you. Okay, and I got an 84. So that's actually an interesting, I don't know if this is clear at all for you guys, but anyways, I got an 84. So now I'm going to look at that number. I'm having two numbers, which is pretty crazy, but I'm saying, so what that means to me is that my number that I saw when I looked at where I'm on track for is about 85% of what it could be. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at that thermometer. I'm just going to heat it up. I'm just going to drive it up. And I'm going to drive up those numbers at the same time. So I'm going to drive up my income number. I'm going to drive up the thermometer. I'm just going to drive it up. I'm just going to ask it to be higher, fuller, higher, fuller, higher, fuller. I'd like the thermometer actually to brim over, to be over 100. I'd like it just to brim over. My life income, I just like to brim over, brim over, brim over. And then what number shows up, and I got a number. It wasn't the number I expected, so that's perfect. I'm really excited about that number, and that's my brimming over number. That's when everything's just flowing. Everything's just flowing. Everything's working. Everything's clicking. I'm serving the people I'm supposed to serve. I'm saying yes to opportunities. I'm thinking outside the box. I'm being on stages. How does that sound, Linda? I'm being on stages. I'm accepting more of what people would like to contribute to my life. And that's been challenging for me. So now I'm looking at that thermometer and it's bursting over and it's over 100 and that my bank account is beautiful. And now I just want to take the thermometer and I want to smash it down to the center of the earth. This is really important. Smash the thermometer down to the center of the earth and just shatter it and let the earth just gobble it up and just drift off. Okay, and now the next part of this process is you want to bring in a brand new clean thermometer, drop it out in front of you. It's all sparkling, clean, and fresh. And just ask it to go to like that place that your money is working right now for you. Just ask it to go and see if it goes up higher than it did last time. Just see if it goes up higher than it did last time. Very nice. That's awesome. Awesome. And just gently now scooch it up even a little bit more. Scooch it up a little bit more. Just ask your income to scooch up a little bit more. Ask your income to scooch up a little bit more until your income feels in alignment with that greatness that you be. And just thank the thermometer for playing this game and have it go off on its day. And come back to your bank statement. I'd like you to rip up and shred the one that you had in the beginning that we just did. Rip it up and shred it and just throw it down into the middle of the earth. And I'd like you to go and print out a brand new bank statement showing your income for all of 2016. And what number does it say now? Very nice. Very nice. Okay, cool. Now let's do that number. Let's 50% it. So cut that number in half, all right, and take half and give it to a June through November. It'd be nice if you hit that number by the end of November, and December was sort of a cruise if you'd like to. So just make that number June through November and then take 50% of that number and ask that number to come in January through June to the end of May, or something better or something bigger, and just ask that number to come in. Very nice, very nice, very nice. And how does that feel now? Great. Awesome. And we just energetically shifted where you're going to be. We just shifted it energetically without any attachment to the how right now, okay? But now we can talk a little bit more about the how of getting into that space where that's all coming. So the how means concentrated. If the number that you invited was different than the number, if the number that you invited in was different from the number that you got, okay, cool. If that was a differential, then that's the place where the work needs to happen. Because what that means is you're not on track for that number yet. Okay? Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Well, I just did a great thermometer exercise, so you're going to want to listen to this on recording when you can. And we just shifted all of our money up from 2016, from the number it was on track to get to the number that we wanted it to get to. And we just started looking at that differential. Okay, cool. And so now what we're looking at is if we could look at 2016 as a whole, one of the cool things that just showed up for me is that the numbers that came were different than I thought. So how cool is that?
That's
so awesome. Janie, since you are the brave one on the call, you get to ask a question, or what would be fun for you to have show up in 2016 that you haven't invited yet.
Oh.
What would be fun?
What would be fun? Lots of clients.
Oh, your audio is funny. Here, try again. Okay, go ahead.
Lots of clients in my classes. That would be fun. Is that
awesome?
Better? Yeah.
So one of the things that we looked at earlier on the call was pulling energy into our business. One of the things that sounds like a little bit. Can you give the business, what does the business have a name?
Yeah, my business is called Conscious Creations.
Called what?
Conscious Creations.
Conscious Creations. So could you start saying, this is going to feel really funny, more clients attend Conscious Creations classes?
More clients attend Conscious Creations classes.
More clients attend Conscious Creations classes.
More clients attend Conscious Creations classes.
And does that feel generative?
It did more the second time I said it.
So you want to take your creations and you want to have them about a foot in front of you, and just invite the people to them whose lives will be changed by being part of them, without any attachment to you.
Got to breathe.
One of the things that I've been really interested in as I'm creating these writer retreats for 2016 is that my old way of teaching author symposium was, I'm the expert, I know. You can come to my class and I'll fill you up with all the knowledge I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, people love they don't leave my classes. I mean, they come over and they stay and they can't go to the bathroom. It's like,
yeah,
that model was not technically broken. But when I looked at the retreats where I was facilitating people to do their own writing,
mm-hmm.
and I was letting them come in and giving their writing space, it just felt so much more, it felt so different. So when you're inviting people to the workshops, you want to let the workshop it's like we've been trained to be parents and teachers in this entrainment that we're supposed to shove the food down the baby bird's mouth. Like that's our job, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now there's a flip side where you can have it be too out there and too not you,
Right.
where it's so not you, it's so generic. I'm not talking about you specifically at all. No, I'm really not. I'm saying, like, I'm teaching a class that, so I actually I let someone do a process with me 2 days ago. They were so detached. It was like they were reading from a manual.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel them in it at all. It
Right.
felt like, and so there was magic that wasn't happening, that there was a capacity for magic that can happen when where it is that what you're bringing and the source of the, if you're teaching someone else's body of work, that when you bring you into it, and that's what I love about the magic of the course you just created, is it's got Janie plus the tools.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at like Blossom plus the tools, like the right voice for you is now also, she's doing creating like crayons, and she's doing all this great stuff for you.
Uh-huh.
And that magic is phenomenal. That is the sweetest spot. Oh, can you feel it?
Yeah.
Awesome. So for everyone who's interested in creating places for others to thrive and platforms for others who will then, like Janie, just show up your book, like this is a platform that I created, and then Janie contributed the cover image. How amazing is that? Wrote a chapter in the book and became a best-selling author. And this was a space that I held open for the authors of this book to become themselves in a bigger way. And I held that space quite firmly open long enough for this to get born.
And beyond.
So what space can you create? What space can you create for others that will have this thing show up? And for you, there's a lot of the body stuff. There's a lot of the hands-on body healing, right? So what space can you create that is then generative and creative for everyone? And then what you're throwing people is not come to my class, it's come to this class.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't that feel different?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So let's just do a quick, what I was also working on today was some specifics. So what would you like to invite into January that you haven't invited yet?
First thing popped in my head was money, and I was like, oh.
So don't make that wrong.
Yep.
Okay. So sit there with the money showing up. And let's just put a bank account number in your head. And then let's just put 10 times that number in your bank account. As if by magic. As if by magic. As if by magic. And now just picture everyone who put money in that account thanking you. Thank you. They're thanking you. And now look at the money. And I know it's really challenging, but look at the money without any intention for it. It's not going to pay for anything. It's not going to take you anywhere. It's not going to put you on a plane. It's not going to pay for your food. Just look at the money and just say to it, like, thank you. Thank you. And how does that feel?
Good. The dogs were barking. Sorry.
So, JD, I'm going to let you. I have to check the door because someone needs to come in and do some work. I need to give him access. So, I'm going to let you tell everyone what you do for about 50 seconds, and I'll be right back.
So I'm Janie Smith. I'm a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness and best-selling author in the book I'm Having It. And I have just created a class. It's called 5 Days to Retrain Your Brainwaves with the bars. Super excited about that. 5 days of running your bars with added bonuses and books and stuff in there. It's really cool. Yeah, so I do massage and I do body work, the body processes, and the core classes of Access. So.
Awesome. Thank you. I didn't, they're doing all this work on my street, so they need to occasionally come in and fuss on my house.
Cool.
Awesome. So we're going to end at 1 p.m. today because it's kind of been a fun couple weeks. And for the next 15 minutes, we're going to focus on expansion. Okay? So if you don't have any water, I'd like you to go. I wonder if they're going to make noise. They're all setting up in the back. So we're going to focus on expansion. And one thing about expansion, it's crazy. It feels so weird. It's like fully disorienting. Janie, doesn't that make sense?
Yes.
So you look in the mirror sometimes and you're just like I don't even know what to wear sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'm so different than I was 6 months ago. And I was telling one of my friends, I'm looking at houses and I saw a house I wanted and we were going to change rentals. And I saw a house I wanted and it was so much more beautiful than like any house I've looked at previously. And it was the Yes house. And I couldn't fathom it. And it was funny because it wasn't the money. I always thought it was like the more I could afford, the better I could get. The more I could afford, the better I could get. And it wasn't actually like that because things shifted in my life. And so then there's more money and I have a part. It's like all these things changed. So that made it so much more ease. So it was really what house do you want instead of in California where I am, houses are so expensive. It's always been kind of like, what's the least horrible? And so I'm looking at this house and it's so beautiful. And I'm so surprised because I changed so much in the last 2 years that I don't even match myself right. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like I don't know which clothes exactly. This sounds really crazy, but I don't quite know. Like if you look at like before and after pictures of some of our authors and I'm having it, we've shifted and changed so much that we have a hard time matching that with that.
Yeah.
How does it get better than this? So I don't quite know exactly how to navigate the fact that you bring in so many changes and life shifts so much that nothing around you matches anymore. And you have to get new things. You have to have like new jewelry and new shirts, and you might need a new kitten that matches your new energy. I have 2 new kittens. They are just so cute. And you know, the funny thing is I've had cats in the past with like lots of behavioral issues. These kittens are pretty much flawless. They're emotionally secure. They're independent. They're loving. They're cuddly. I mean, really, they're just like the most perfect kittens like I've ever met. And I'm like, how did I attract kittens like this, right? It's like, it's a phenom to me because everything changes sometimes, right? So everything changes. So as you go into your expansion, you're going to start seeing some signposts of change. And what the most people do is they contract back because they don't want to have it really change, because change is such a scary thing. And so the human sort of thing is, one step forward, two steps back, two steps forward, one step back. And when you just shift out of needing to control everything, then you can let more expansion in. And it's funny. It's like, then you want to shift things. So you find yourself like I am, like 4 timesing, 5 timesing the fees for my classes. And when I do, more people come, and it makes no sense at all. It's like it's not linear, because I'm talking to the consciousness of the classes. I'm talking to the consciousness of the books. I'm talking to the consciousness of everything. And so everything changes. But in this expansion, there's this discomfort, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do this. I want to play with you, Janie, since you're so brave and joined us. I want you to look at one area of your life where okay, so the words that I got was, could we 10 times your fan base?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like you to look at the number of people that follow you. Okay. Now this, when I say follow, this could be people who chat with you on Facebook, people who open your emails, people who, when you walk into the room, they're like, hi, they're happy to see you. Have you let yourself be a leader?
That's shifting.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what 2015 has been for you.
Yeah. Shifting from following to stepping into being a leader.
Wow.
Yeah.
How juicy is that? So in being a leader, there are places that are uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to tell me the 5 reasons that you should not be a leader.
I might screw up.
Good. What else?
I might get blamed for screwing somebody else up.
Okay, good.
I might not do it right.
Exactly. One more.
I might forget what I'm supposed to do.
Right. And then what about, I have kids, so I can't control my life anyways?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, how's that one? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't use that one for 12 years at all.
No.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So take all those things that are kind of like sitting there. And I've been swearing a lot more. I think Access is doing that to me. Thank you. All those things that are messing with your mind, which I changed for some of my audience, but really those things that fuck with us. Let's just take all those things, and for those people listening who don't have kids, that's a big one for me. But for all those people that don't have things like that, but anything that she said or anything that you have that you've used in the past to stay small. Okay, these could be, I don't have enough money. I'm not pretty enough. I weigh way too much. I'll tell you that for sure. For me, I weigh way too much to ever be successful. I mean, there's no way I could be successful at my weight. I mean, I was told that from the get-go. Luckily, I found a different truth, which was I'm sexy as hell, so it's okay to weigh what I weigh. Right? I walk in the room and oh my gosh, right? Dang, look at that. I get that. I get that now. But the funniest thing was like I used my weight as I'll never be able to be on TV. All these ways I used these things to not step into my potency. And so as you look at 10 timesing and 1,000 timesing your life, ooh, I just jumped over 100, didn't I? As you look at exponentially increasing your life, you want to look at those things. And did you see the way, Janie, I did that with you? I was very soft with them. Because sometimes we look at those things and then we feel we need to beat them down. But what if we just look at them and we go, oh, that is such a great awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we did this last week, remember? Well, you were on last week where we said, I'm going to go make a speech and I'm going to screw up. So we got over screwing up by saying, okay, people start laughing at me and leave. Then they think I'm a joke. Or only one person comes. Or whatever we're using to stay small. Whatever that is that we're using to stay small. And I'm having a really interesting experience lately where a lot of people are joining things and just wanting the recording. And at first that made me feel really strange. Then I was like, well, how cool is that? That right now people are listening to the recording of me? And that made me start feeling really high. I was like, how potent is my energy where it's so much in person that it's easier to listen to on recording?
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? I mean, it's like my energy's gotten so huge that sometimes it's a little much for some things, and it's just really nice to be able to listen to it. And one of my clients, she listens to me at night just on a loop, just to feel my joy.
Mm-hmm.
She like doesn't even listen to the content. She like goes to sleep to my loop. I'm like, you do what? You sleep to me looping? I'm serious. You think I'm kidding? I'm so not kidding. And I'm like, well, if you want to listen to me looping, okay. I'm in, you know, I'm in. I'm okay with that. I'm going to be okay with that in 2016. You know, and what else is possible when that's possible, right? And then I just have to tell you, Janie, the funniest thing, go to Barnes & Noble, go to a bookstore and pick up Ellen's book. She wrote this book. It is the funniest book. I'll just tell you one excerpt because I can't remember it. She was like saying, she said her mind's going 24/7, but she said 26/7. So her mind goes 26/7. She wakes up at night. So she started writing things on things so that when she had time, she would sit down and write them into her book. So she pulled a paper out to write, and she's looking at it, and it says smile. And then she goes, did it say smile or simile? And then she goes, is that blood? No, it's blue. And then she goes, you know, I was thinking about pineapples. Was that actually a pineapple? No, why was I thinking about pineapples? And she actually ends and goes, you know what? I shouldn't have written this chapter. Like, that's the chapter. I'm just dying. I'm laughing so hard. I mean, can you imagine? She's this like phenom. And she's writing this chapter that makes no sense. It is not logical. And I'm like, I'm reading this. I'm laughing so hard. And I'm thinking, thank you, Ellen, for being so like human.
Yeah.
And then I told my daughter, I go, Isabel, she's ADD. Another one.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Because she's saying smile, simile, pineapple. And then she just gives up because she can't figure out what the thing said that she wrote on the note that she was supposed to write into her book. But then she let us know that, which was just the sweetest thing. And I was just laughing so hard when I read that. I couldn't believe it. I just felt like I'd found a friend. You know what I mean? So when you mess up and you're on stage, when you're standing on stage and you mess up, or when you're doing this and you mess up, when you do that and you mess up, I used to do philanthropy with a family foundation. I used to give out lots and lots and lots of money. Like at one point, 16 million a year, I think I was planning for giving out to charity. And so I had a pretty big job, actually. And it's a little bit scary sometimes when you give money because you don't know if it's going to mess up. And I remember we had this one situation where it really didn't work. And we were giving out money and it pretty much messed up. Like the money wasn't getting to where it was supposed to, and the organization used the money for something else. And then there wasn't money available for what the organization had promised it would do with the money. I mean, seriously, it was like, oh my goodness, like you can't even imagine that would happen. And so I sat there with my team, well, my bosses. I had 5 bosses. I had the founder of a high-tech company that makes a little chip, I won't say the name, and his wife, and then their 2 kids and one of their spouses. So all 5 were the board. So those were my bosses. And in the beginning, I didn't have any employees, but later I had like 7 or 8 employees. But in the beginning, it was just me. And I ran the company for all of them. And so this happened, and we sat there, and we got this report, and we were looking at the numbers, and I'm like, this isn't adding up. So I had to be the one that saw it. And then it was like, but I was the one overseeing it, and I was the one who saw it, and it was a complete mess up. And we actually got with the organization, and they ended up moving money around for the next 2 years and giving scholarships for jobs to homeless people, as they promised they do with the money. And they ultimately did do all the services they promised with the money. But it showed us a lot, so we learned a lot. So we really got clearer on what we would ask them to share with us and how often we would get reports and what kinds of things we wanted from them in reporting. And so when you take something that screws up and you go, oh, wow, that screwed up. If you take it and you beat yourself up with it, it doesn't help you expand bigger. But if you take it and you say, you know what, that really taught me something, or that gave me this tool, or that showed me to expand, to learn tools I hadn't seen before, or maybe I want to co-partner with someone with a big list that I can bring time, we can do an event, and then their list will join my list. And what if I had 5 of those? So what if you did like 5 telecalls with people that had 2, and one of the ways that people do it is they opt in and they give each other all the lists. So everybody opts in, but then everyone shares. So then everybody gets to have those people on their lists. So as you're looking at expanding, one of the things you can look at to build and grow your audience is to play with people who are like you. So you can invite them into your audience. Oh, and that's why I was supposed to end at 1. So going forward into 2016, let's just have a little moment where we invite everything that we've been wanting and everything that we've been seeking. And then we trust it won't show up the way we think it will. And we ask to show up even better. And I'm going to call this a close, okay? Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful year. We'll talk soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.